So, Kai in 2.0. So, we've all seen probably the 2.0 trailer. If you haven't, go watch it. And there's a lot of changes. And I actually realized that Kai is going to be very volatile. And there's going to be a lot of differences from last season to the current season. Unlike some other characters where it's just like they took away volatile, so they're going to be less strong. Kai's in this very interesting situation where his new move is probably made to kind of re-identify him as a character, closer to how he used to be. So I am going to go over what the removal of volatile will do. I'm going to look at his new move. I've labbed with a bunch of the Kai players, not really labbed, but I've gotten a really strong idea of how the move works. And also just be thinking about like how other characters might affect Kai in the situation. So I'm going to start by going over removing volatile. So this is where it gets really tough for Kai, because volatile was basically a band-aid for his entire kit, and that's what you were mainly like playing around as Kai. You were basically trying to find a situation where you'd get a counter hit with any of your moves, and your opponent wouldn't be able to burst. Because if he doesn't have volatile, most of his combos are just about 3 hits, maybe 4, unless it's like a very specific hit. And it's a very big issue, because Kai's neutral is gonna be a lot different now that he can get far slash and use volatile after and like build a lot of meter and actually have corner carry. Now he's gonna assume be doing far slash, stun dipper, and RPS to start offense. That's also another big issue with that, is he does have to do RPS to start offense. So Counter Blitz is okay as a substitute. One of the things about Kai was actually how he had to use volatile. So I'm going to go in game to show you this. Okay, and now we're back. So I'm going to take a moment to kind of show you like how important volatile was to Kai as a character. I saw Lord Knight actually drop in tiers where it said he was like slightly affected. He is a lot more affected than you would think by a change like removing volatile, because a lot of his kit was nerfed to get it. Okay, let me just make sure it's on. Okay. So as an example, a big thing with Kai is he, unlike characters like Chip, he needed like 2 auto slots to lock you out of burst. At certain like ranges, he definitely needed like 2 auto slots if you weren't launched. So as an example, if I wanted somebody to not be able to burst in my combo, I'd have to do like this. I'd have to spend 2 bars of meter and do like, of course this is guaranteed damage, that's fine, but like characters like Chip didn't have to do that at all. That's where I think Counter Blitz is actually really nice, because if I just get a counter hit, you know, then this is basically just unburstable, like hold my combo, right? That's actually really good for Kai. If you're near corner and he counter hits you and he sees it, you're getting wall broken. I don't know if it's a hard knockdown or not, actually. I don't remember seeing the trailer. I'll be looking at the trailer in a bit too. And this is where I'll show you like the actual like big impact of getting rid of Wild Assault, because let's say I do like a 5H starter, and I'll show you like what I get with meter and without. So I'm gonna do 5H, charge Wild Assault, delay JK, full slash, delay 6K. Full screen wall break, right? That actually, took a while for us kind of players to actually figure out that you could do that. But we eventually got that down, right? But if I don't have volatile off a counter hit 5H, I just do like that, right? Which, of course, it's fine, but that gets a lot worse when you consider far slash, because you can't pick this up with far slash. You can't, right? And then if but I can with volatile. I can wall break off this, right? I messed up there. Let me see if I can just better. The only caveat to this combo style is that it on a scaled starter this doesn't work at all, like in the slightest. So now that we've realized that his counter hit combos are way worse, he doesn't just wall break off that anymore, then we have to go over, well, what would we get? Well, I'm going to put you in a situation where the opponent's standing and he counter hit far slash, right? So you're going to do Fujark? Wait, that wasn't your combo, right? So the thing is here is it's still just, you don't really get anything. I'll probably go over like because I actually thought of a combo that might be possible, and I'm going to check once the new move releases, that might actually fix this issue, which is why I think the move is the way it is, the new move. But like not having a true confirm on standards is really bad for like a hard knockdown. Like, of course with like meter we get this, which is pretty crazy. I think it refunds like all the meter spent too. And that's assuming that there's no meter changes. That's what like a lot of people are thinking of. It's gonna be meter changes. And it's just like really weird not having Waddle. That's gonna... I know people are saying, like, showing that like one Kirito gif where like the sword, like he's trying to reach for the sword but he doesn't realize he doesn't have the sword. That's exactly what it's gonna feel like. Going into season, I'll just call it 4.5. That's exactly how I felt playing Kai when you couldn't cancel Wild Assault. I thought that was very bad for zoner matchups. And this is where it actually comes to the move. So we're going to move to the trailer and I'm going to go over in depth with the new move and what I have written down about it. Alright, and we're back. So we'll be going over the new move and what we've noticed about the new move as a Kai collective. So we're going to go to the segment where he uses the new move, right? So we see he uses Stun Edge here, right? And it whiffs. And then he responds by canceling the recovery frames of Stun Edge. So pretty obviously what this is anytime Stun Edge enters a certain location, you can call down like Thunder from that location. It'll go exactly to where it was, right? So this is... Well, a lot of Kai players are hoping that you don't... like, Stun Edge isn't required to be out. It would be really cool if you like have the ability to summon like a beam from like right in front of him at any point. That'd be really nice. It also makes me wonder if there's going to be any like text like car cancel the start of Stun Edge into this as like a super like weird answer. We'll see though. That's definitely dependent on the input. So this is fucking like crazy strong. So that means in the case that somebody is jumping, fireballs is just the normal counterplay. You can call this and you can make them block and people can't jump in. If they try to low profile at you, then you can call this and they probably get hit. And the thing is too, we don't know how long it applies Shock State, but it does apply Shock State, which is really huge. And on top of that, this actually has one major thing. If that fireball hit normally, you could call that. And then because of the falling that they're doing, you could run in and probably start offense. That means Kai's actually going to be rewarded for hitting fireballs in neutral, which is very, very big. One of the biggest complaints I've always had with Kai is fireballs were a conditioning tool without any reward period. Like, of course you did apply 3-second Shock State, that's okay. And with Shock State applied, you were slightly plus. But without Shock State, people could mash after in near negative on hit space. It was really, really bad. I am happy that there's at least a way to get knocked down with a fireball. That is really, really big. So, next thing is it launches. That's something, you know, you might have saw there. It sends them up in the air. And this is what I'm really interested in, because I think this is here because they removed Wild Assault. Because I don't see that move doing that unless they got rid of Wild Assault. Because Wild Assault, of course, is our mid-screen converter, right? So what do we have without it? So we don't have Fuji Arc loops anymore. So off of an already launched player, we don't really get combos, right? Of course, we have like some charge times. We have JD stuff, but that's not consistent at all. That's basically the same requirements for Fuji Arc loops, right? So this move launches. And we've been, oh, also one more thing, this is really nice for the Faust matchup, because it means we can use Charge Stun Edge, and we can call that whenever we think Faust will, like, press, and make him actually have to respect our, like, Charge Stun Edge Jockey. I think if he's in blocks, then actually, he does get blocked by CZ, which is huge, because that match was 3-7 just because we couldn't use Charge Stun Edge on him. So, now we're gonna look at this, right? He does it again, and this time he does a Charge Stun Edge way closer. You can see he barely gets that off. He barely, like, cancels his recovery. Also, canceling recovery is fucking broken on anything in the game. That's basically with punch, right? Right? And then they get launched, and he picks up with a 2K. So this is where I think it has launching properties, and I'm actually going to move back into the game in a second. I think this might actually be his new combo theory from mid-screen. Because that Wild Assault, he has to have, like, something, like, replace it completely. Because without, like, anything new, he's just, like, absolutely cooked. So I'm going to go back in game. Alright, and we're back. So now that we understand how I'm kind of think that this move might actually be our new combo filler, I'm actually going to try and show you an example of what a combo with it might look like. So one thing that's pretty bad about Kai and Corner is it's Stun Edge, because sometimes you'll be doing Stun Edge to like end your turn with 6H, and you'll miss the timing for just an option select into like Charge Stun or something, right? But with this new move, it would basically have the launch of a Shock State Sacred Edge, right? Because he can pick up with this, if I can do this correctly. Ignore me struggling to pin out character. Oh, I might just have to send Sacred Edge. Wait, shit. Okay, let me just do this RC just to make it easy. Because this does, actually, I'm just doing Dragon Stall. Hold up. Because Dragon Stall's the best at this. So in Dragon Stall, right? you can pick up, if I do this. There we go. Sorry, I forgot you're supposed to be spaced. But yeah, you can pick up if you're spaced out with a fireball. And having that move would make it so you don't have to be spaced. You can be like right here. It cancel in the move, and you can just like a 5H or something. That gives us a lot more reward on that. It also means that on offense, if somebody's blocking, right? Also, this is, I am going to hypothesize what this move does. There is a chance it's a true string ender. If you're like, if someone's right in your face, like you just do that, cancel into it, right? That would be really nice. And it also would kill fuzzy timings too. That's like the biggest part about it. And depending on the size of the cancel, if it's bigger than stones or not, then it can change a lot. So let's go kind of hit. I have hypothesized what his meterless combo would look like, and by the way, I'll be spending meter because I don't like, of course it's not out yet, but you can get a solid idea of what it would do. So something I was looking at with the Kai like play races, I realized, okay, so off a standard we get no combo, right? Like we don't get anything. So in the case that stun edge hits in a combo no matter what, then wouldn't you be able to follow up with the move? So you'd be able to do that into the new move. Now, it's not a hard knockdown obviously, but what I did think about is the launch angle. So when you look at the launch angle, they're set just high enough that when he's right in his face, he can get 2k, right? And then he does Dire Cloud after, but you do have Vapor Thrust in that situation. So I thought about it, I could try and actually replicating what it would be like having that launch. So there's a chance you build a micro dash 5H, because they get to a certain height. You can look at the thing, like try to like figure out the frame that he like can act on. And I think you might be able to micro dash 5H or micro dash 2S, or at least stun nipper. So my idea behind it is I'll show you like the highball like combo. I'll like progressively show you like how much worse it'll get depending on how much hit stun it has, because of course we'll have to lap this. So you would do kind of hit far slash, stun edge into the move, and then micro dash 5H, heavy vapor thrust, 2S, 5H, free jar. And for this combo, I am gonna like use moves I have like in game to kind of replicate like what it would look like with the launch. So I'm just gonna do far slash, stun edge, like this, right? That would probably be a combo without spending, obviously, 50 meter, with the new move taking place of Stun Dipper. Now, there's also a chance it'd be like... Oh, how do I launch them? Like, it'd be like... How do I say that? It'd be like this or something. Which is good, too. That's really, really nice. It's a hard knockdown, 142 meter, right? And then the worst case scenario is it's literally just like that. Well, let me actually show. It'd be like that, which would give a hard knockdown, charge damage rookie. That's pretty good, right? But this move has so much potential to fix the fact that we're not going to have volatile. Like, if this move doesn't have some kind of conversion, Kai's like, all you're going to be doing when you're playing him is just fishing for big hits. You're going to be looking for air hits. You're just going to be looking for counter hit 2H, counter hit 2D. Just like, far slash isn't in the equation anymore. Like, yeah, this is solid damage, you start offense, but you have to RPS on the knockdown. And if you don't know there's RPS on the Stun Dipper, then I would recommend buying out the situation of it, because you can act against Kai when he's in that situation, especially if you have the DP. Or like, you have to get like really good conversions, like you gotta do... Well, I can't even do that, you know? Yeah, just like 5H, Tower Cloud, Micro Dash, like, yeah. I don't really know what's happening to his character, like, depending on what happens. Like, he might be even more, like, meter hungry, and then there's a chance that they nerf how meter works in the patch, and then he's, like, absolutely cooked. Though, regardless, I'm just gonna end it there. I do believe in this character. I guess I do have to cover, like, one more thing real quick. I do think his matchups are gonna get a lot better, because the characters he's supposed to be winning against currently, he doesn't win against, and a lot of them are getting nerfed. Like, Chaos is an example. Looking back at his video, it took him like 70% concentration to do one charge shot. And of course, I think he is more plus technically because of it. But like, at the same time, like, it costs that much, so he won't be able to outzone you, so he has to play neutral. We don't know what he did with Whiff Shot, but like, just in general, like, a lot of bad matchups are going to get better, and then with this new move, it will actually let us be able to, like, fight people at Axel. One of the thing about Axel is he'll, like, zone you with, like, 2H, and 2H, not 2H, like, 2P and stuff, right? So you can walk out that range, you can use fireballs, right? But the thing is, he has 2H, so, like, just hit through the fireball or even trade, and then he's the one that's plus. And all you get is, like, 33 damage shock state, and then you basically don't even get the shock state. You have to get in with a normal eventually or spacing. But with the new move, if you hit a fireball, you can cancel it into the new move, and then you can go in and start your offense. That is super huge. He can actually contest zoners now. He actually, if a zoner he's fighting gets hit by a fireball, you hit them. And also, one more thing, we do wonder if, as an air variant, because of course TK fireballs are in this game. Now, at certain ranges, you can probably land and get it just in time, but, like, that's a rare, like, scenario. This is also, that's air stall potential, because you could do, like, this one, right, this one, and then you could cancel it and then just set a hitbox right in front of you for our 6 speeds. That's amazing for jump-ins. Kai is either about to, so, best case scenario, he has a new mid-screen extender that does all this bullshit, it helps his offense, this move makes his entire fucking kit, right? Like, he's absolutely cracked because of it. Now, the medium case scenario is it's just a neutral tool. He doesn't really have offense off it. And I would say he has okay conversions out of it. Okay, we're fine with that. We take that. But the worst case scenario is this move is super negative on block, so people can punish you for using it in their face. It gives, like, no combos, and then it still has the utility of, like, being a backup if somebody jumps and then you react. And then, I was gonna say, oh yeah, of course, no combos, no offense, and it's just, like, really linear. That's, like, the worst thing that can happen. This move, and even then, you still are just going to be using it, like, after this. Like, it's fine. Like, we are so happy to have this. That is it for now. I don't have anything else to go over until the patch drops in I think it's 3-4 weeks. I have to play in a regional, actually, before it happens. So that's going to be really, really interesting. I have to play this patch one more time. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. I'm going to drop the offense guide after the patch drops. I was about to finish it, and then I realized that the patch is going to drop, so I was like, I'm just going to wait now, right? So, thank you. Make sure to subscribe and like the video. Have a great night.